luck, the boys are back in town.
So this is it, the 3rd gen, and the puppies. So y'all have seen this one on the channel. I gotta get new fender flares up here anyways. These just pop off. I mean, they're already falling off as is. So all these are gonna pop off. Those are gonna go back on. They're gonna get another coat of black on it, and then the rest of it's gonna be white. And then, yeah, I mean, just terrible stuff, man. Terrible clear coat. But first I gotta get all those plastics off, and there is a plastic along the bottom there that I gotta pull off, so that way I can get everything underneath of it nice and clean. And I started my water a little too early, but throw y'all on time lapse, get this stuff taken care of. What you want, puppy? That was not as bad as I thought. This, yeah, this side looks good. The other side, we got a little hole. Got all these puppies and you want all the loving. So we got that hole on the other side. Now that we got all the panels off, I'm gonna have to order like 1,000 clips. I think every single one of them snapped. A bunch of them just looked original, like they were just brittle as mess. So I'm gonna have to get some more new ones. 2 10mm over here and over on the ends, holding those on. And then up here, you're gonna have a pop rivet and a pop rivet here. Let's show you, you got one right here. Yeah, right in there. There's gonna be a little silver pop rivet on the back end. So you'll have to be careful pulling it out of there, pulling it out of here. Then you're gonna have 3 right along here that you're gonna have to pop out. You want to be careful with those because you don't want to, I mean, with how old your vehicle is, like, I don't think this has been touched since it got put together. So like these, I popped one of these off. Bottoms are still good, but this one's gonna need a little plastic weld or let's figure it out. But that's gonna have to be pop riveted back on when I go back for the reinstall. Probably be later on down the road because first I need to get it painted. I'm not going to worry about taking the metal and the plastic off. I'm going to take these off, and then when we go through with the grinder or the sander, sand everything down, get rid of these, and then paint as much as I can. I'm not super concerned with it. This is going to be obviously underneath the cover, but I still want it to look good. Like, I still want it to protect and prevent rust. And that's the name of the game. So, with those off, start up there. Gotta get this light off that I never use because I never had it wired up. When I bought it, I hooked up with the wires. I was like, no, we're good. And I gotta get the roof rack off. So, in the dog trunk light. So, we're gonna work on that. It's now the next morning. Got the grinder out. Got that rock cut out. It's pretty bad. Got a new little piece of, I just went with 16 gauge, like 6x18, I don't know. I'm not a great welder, so we're gonna see how this goes. I'm just gonna try to tack it into place for now. Might have to knock off some of this bubble right here, but I'm gonna take the grinder, of course, and grind out that spot and the spot up here on the hood. Right here, I'm actually gonna use the grinder for that, not the sander, so. But slowly gonna work on that a little bit more this morning. Then I gotta get all the roof rack stuff off, and then give it a wash down and yeah, you know the process. Trust the process. We're gonna get there. It might just take a little bit longer than I was expecting, per usual. The piece is made. It's gonna go something like this. It's gonna go all the way to the back. I'm gonna try to, might have to slim off a little edge of it so that way I can catch it in between. I gotta clean up that side, and I gotta give it a little bit more angle to it so that way I can wrap all the way around. But yeah. Oh, let's get this thing welded up because it's currently like 8 o'clock. Yeah, it gives me a couple hours. It's still too cold out here to paint, but I still have a couple hours worth of peeling glue and sanding and taping off and all that good stuff. So let's get this thing taken care of. Ladies and germs, we got this finished up. Like I said, I didn't take a time lapse because I just got into it. That looks pretty good. I guess still got to grind down a little bit. We started on the sanding, and then I was like, I can't sand unless I put the paper up. So then it just sent me down a rabbit hole. Gonna have to grind these down a little bit more as well. But it's getting a little windy out here, if you can tell, which is not ideal, especially if you paint it out here. Oh my gracious. So we might have to move the Chevy and get the first gen out, paint it in there. I don't know. Let's get back to sanding and getting this thing wrapped up. I just sped run a paint job, well, prime job. I primed it all up. It looks pretty good. There's a few spots that are a little iffy and wishy-washy. Gotta get all my tools, but it is very windy out. Yeah, I gotta paint that too. I gotta pull that off. So, I'm running late for work. So we will see you guys here back in a little bit. Well, we got some paint on this side. I got a bug right in the middle of the hood. That's great. This side came out a little runny. I have to do wet sand, and unless you're into some runs like that, I'm not. So we made some alterations to the paint. That was way too thin. Adjusted the gun. I still gotta hit a little bit of this, but first coat's on. Let it dry out for a little bit. Do the second coat. Well, that's a quick little second coat. I didn't let it dry all the way. I got to get to work, so cord. The runs actually, when I got a nice second coat on there, the runs don't look as bad. I'm definitely gonna have to hit the top though. You can still tell where that's at, but some of the lower stuff kind of balanced out a little bit. What's up, puppy? I don't know. I gotta do some thinking. Let it dry overnight.
This stuff is really thick, so just to let y'all know, if y'all are wanting to paint with this, you have to take it down a lot with some mineral spirits. I mean, my first couple passes right here on the fender were atrocious. It was just spitting it out. Had to make some adjustments to the paint gun, had to make some adjustments to the paint. Like I said, it's just really thick. So when I tried to use it, it just got all sorts of weird on me. But that's it. We're gonna let this dry. We're gonna come back tomorrow and see what it looks like. Well, here we are the next day. Gotta get a little bit of the condensation off the hood, wipe down the top. But it's a little bit of those lines there. This side looks really, I don't know why this side looks so good. This side looks awesome. Need to do a little bit more paint on the back end. This one has a little less gleam to it, but still looks nice. I am gonna go with one more coat this morning, right after I get everything dried off, but let's see what one more coat does to it. I really just want a good solid white. There's a few spots like right in here that you can tell that it's still kind of gray from bleeding through, and then back on this back panel where this dent is, like right in here. So we're gonna get it balanced out. Yeah, kind of close to there. We're gonna get it nice and balanced out. So let me get the mix in the painting. I just want to talk about the mixture of this. Like I mentioned, it is really thick. So did like maybe 2 ounces. Yesterday I did like an 8-to-1 ratio, utilizing 1 being all hardening enamel and then up to the top as paint. And then I had to use a lot of mineral spirits to balance that out and get it real thin, so that way it would actually push through the sprayer. But today I'm just going to use a little bit of enamel hardening, probably 1 ounce, maybe 2 ounces, the rest paint, and then mineral spirits mixed in to get it nice and thin to what combination I want it to get to. Now obviously all the mineral spirits, I haven't stirred it, so just want to let y'all know like what my range is. And I think I've used about 2 quarts of this this gallon. It's maybe a little bit over halfway. So, and that's 2 coats yesterday and probably a coat or 2 today. So yeah, good stuff. Let's get this thing painted with another coat.
I like it. I don't know about y'all, but I like it. This thing's looking sweet. Still need to put all the panels on, so that's what we're going to work on next. There's a few little spots that didn't really come out exactly how I wanted it, but it's okay. I digress. I do have to hit the back with clear coat still, and I ran out, so I could run to the store. That's why I took everything except for the back tailgate cargo window off, because I'm just going to leave it taped and did a slight clear coat as y'all saw earlier in this time lapse. Got everything taken off. Now I'm gonna go wash and clean some plastics, and I'm just gonna do a simple black, gloss black, and I got all the clips in Amazon yesterday, so we'll be putting them all back in here and then snapping the panels back on. And lights, brake lights, tail lights. And then we on the road again, and it's a whole different color. I like it. 10 out of 10 on the black on white. Looks awesome. All right, let's get more paint.
Alrighty guys, well, we have it all painted. I got all the trim work painted. I didn't ever get front fender flares for it, but I got the 2 side skirts on, got the bottom on, and I didn't get those on because I'm still waiting on those fasteners to get in. But all of it came out really good. I love the painted look on it. It looks super good with the black trim on it, especially with the darker tinted windows. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. But I'm just amateur, so there are a few little spots that are bubbled a little bit. A few little spots, like that rust spot I should have ground down a little bit more. There's a little bubble right here. So there's little learning mistakes, but like I said, we did the YouTube thing just to gain experience, and that was definitely a fun experience, and I enjoy painting cars, so maybe that won't be next. We'll see. But thank y'all for watching. We'll see y'all in the next episode.